An American flag hangs on a burned home in Santa Rosa, Calif., devastated by a wildfires that President Trump has rarely mentioned in public. "Where's the president?" asks the editorial board of the San Francisco Chronicle. As California burns, well, it knows where a President Trump literally is. The White House usually, if not one of his resorts. The newspaper board means where ishe on Twitter, or as the board says. How many times has Trump tweeted about the fires since they were whipped by winds into life-threatening force early Monday? 0. Subscribe to the Postmost newsletter. Today's most popular stories on the Washington Post's Zero. True. As of early Sunday evening. As the Chronicle notes, Trump did speak once, offline, about the fires. A few days ago, he promised to stand with Californians and said he's in touch with the governor, and then welcomed the Pittsburgh Penguins to the White House and turned to other matters. But the death toll in California has doubled to 41 since then. Thousands of homes and millions of acres have been burned, and one voice has been conspicuously mute. The Chronicle wrote, Americans expect their president to step forward with empathy and resolve in moments of national trauma, the paper observed. And this is not a man who is reticent to let Americans know what is foremost on his mind. So how can it be that the loss of 40 human beings on American soil did not merit a single tweet? And then much of the editorial is spent listing all the things Trump is tweeting about instead of the fires, the NFL, and TV news, and a book about himself, and what I've done for #Puerto Rico with so little appreciation. Odd to mention that last one. The last time Trump was being castigated for Twitter negligence, it was Puerto Rico's hurricane damage that he was accused of ignoring. This was all of 3 weeks ago, when CNN kept a running tally of Trump's tweets. Sports 16. Puerto Rico 0. Nearly a week after Hurricane Maria wiped out the U.S. territory's infrastructure wholesale. As with the wildfires, Trump had spoken in public about the destruction, had even tweeted, but his critics found his comments incommensurate to the attention he paid other topics. Not to mention previous storms that hit the U.S. mainland. Hillary Clinton's former campaign spokesman straight up called him a racist for it. Trump's racist neglect of Puerto Rico is threatening lives. It is time to start caring about the crisis there. Brian Fallon, at Brian F. Fallon, September 25, 2017. And then Trump did start tweeting about Puerto Rico and his administration's help for the island. Over and over and over. Consequently, he was accused by some of bragging, including the San Francisco Chronicle in Saturday's editorial. It has been like this, more or less, since Trump took his Twitter addiction into the White House. A few days after his inauguration, several people were killed in an attack on a mosque in Canada. Trump called the country's prime minister the next morning, but he was nevertheless called out for failing to tweet about the attack. The Canadian Broadcasting Corp., for example, compared Trump's internet silence on the mosque to his loud protests of other attacks and of Arnold Schwarzenegger. In some way, Trump faces the same optical quandary as his predecessor Xi in times of crisis. President Barack Obama was criticized for golfing while Louisiana flooded last year. At the dawn of Internet age, footage of President George W. Bush reading a children's book while the World Trade Center burned went proto-viral. But we now live in the thick of the Internet, in an age that expects instantaneous reactions, with a president who often is happy to give them. And the San Francisco Chronicle wants to know what's different about lethal fires in California. The most cynical speculation would be that he could not care less about a state that despises him like no other. The editorial board wrote, Trump has not responded, at least not yet on Twitter. More reading. Wildfires have burned an area the size of Maryland last weekend. How Trump's time at his golf club hurt the response to California wildfires have been devastatingly arbitrary. Some houses stand amid a sea of ash.